Asterisco. Asterisco tag de naakp. Asterisco.
Asterisk, you need to send this to the news.
Asterisco.
Within minutes, the video had hundreds of retweets. An hour later, it had thousands. South Hill may have been a small dot on the map, but the internet didn't care about size. It cared about truth, and this truth was loud. Malik's hands trembled as he refreshed the page again. Asha's face, panicked but dignified, froze on the thumbnail image of the video that now played on repeat across Twitter feeds and Instagram stories. It was the face of someone who didn't deserve this. It was the face of someone the world was now beginning to fight for. But Malik wasn't done. He opened his notes app and started typing a timeline of what he had seen. He described the moment the cop arrived, what was said, how Asha complied, how the officer escalated. He included every detail, time-stamped to match the video. It wasn't just a clip anymore, it was a documented record. Meanwhile, blocks away, Asha sat silently in the back of the police cruiser as it pulled into the station. She was booked but not charged. No explanation was given, no paperwork shown. An officer led her into a room with a cold metal chair and asked her to wait. That was it.
She sat there for over an hour.
Her phone, her bag, her dignity, everything was taken. But out there, far beyond the station's gray walls, the world was beginning to move.
Asterisco, asterisco, asterisco.
Back in his house, Malik's mom, Tamara Carter, entered his room after seeing the news blowing up on her own Facebook. "Boy," she said with wide eyes, "is that your video all over the internet?" He nodded slowly.
"Yeah. I filmed it."
"It was that girl on Maple Avenue." "She didn't do anything, Mom." "He pulled a gun on her." Tamara sat down beside him. She stared at the screen for a long while. "You did the right thing, baby," she whispered. "You might have saved her life." Malik swallowed hard. "Do you think they'll come after me?" His mother hesitated. That pause was enough of an answer. "They might. But now that video's out there, you're not alone. And neither is she." She hugged him tightly, then stood. "We need to get a lawyer. Just in case." As the sun began to set over South Hill, phones across the country lit up. The story hadn't reached the mainstream news yet, but it was coming. And when it did, everything would change. Asha didn't know it yet. Officer Rickson sure didn't. But a storm was on the way, and this time it had receipts. In the narrow, fluorescent-lit holding room of the South Hill Police Department, Asha Wilson sat on a cold metal chair with her hands still cuffed behind her back. Time moved like wet concrete. Her heart hadn't stopped racing since the moment she'd been pulled over. The walls closed in on her. No one had said anything in nearly 45 minutes. No charges.
No paperwork. Just silence.
The small, cracked window high above her didn't show much of the outside world, just a patch of darkening sky. Her phone was gone, confiscated when she arrived. There was no way to call her best friend, her mother, or her attorney. She hadn't even been told what she was arrested for. Suspicion of evasion, the officer at the front desk had muttered vaguely when she first arrived.
Asterisco evasion. Asterisco scieden tiran.
She hadn't even argued. She had done everything right, and still ended up here. The trauma of the moment replayed in her mind. The weapon drawn, the orders shouted, the look in Rickson's eyes that made it clear he didn't see her as a person. She tried to steady her breathing, but every inhale felt shallow, like the air refused to fill her lungs properly. Asha had always been aware of the risk. She'd attended protests, read Baldwin, followed civil rights cases. But nothing prepared her for the sheer violence of the moment when a gun was aimed at her face. It wasn't just about fear of death, it was about the humiliation, the helplessness, the rage, the violation. And worst of all, there were no witnesses. Or so she thought.
Asterisco, asterisco, asterisco.
Across town, Malik's video had exploded. It had just crossed 1 million views. Activist pages had reposted it. Local journalists started reaching out for interviews. A few of them tracked the video's location to South Hill and began calling the precinct directly, demanding a statement. That was when things started to shift. Inside the police station, Officer Rickson leaned back in a chair, scrolling his phone in the break room. His brow furrowed. His feed was swamped.
Cancelletto justice for Asha. I matter da loud.
He clicked on a tweet, and the video loaded. His jaw went tight as he realized what it was: his traffic stop. His face. His voice, barking orders and pulling his gun. And the timestamp. Only a few hours old. Someone had filmed the whole damn thing. He slammed his fist on the table hard. Mother! Another officer peeked in. You good? Someone was filming that stop earlier. It's all over the internet, Rickson growled. Who the hell lives on that street? The other officer shrugged.
You man the girl.
She's still in holding. Should we let her go? Rickson snapped. No. She fits the damn description. I'm writing the report now. But even he knew that wouldn't matter anymore. The court of public opinion had already started deliberations, and the footage was damning.
Asterisco asterisco asterisco.
Asha was startled when the door opened abruptly. A young officer, not Rickson, entered, holding a clipboard. Ms. Wilson, he said, awkwardly.
You're free to go.
She blinked. What? No charges are being filed at this time. You can collect your belongings at the front desk. That's it, she asked, slowly standing. You arrested me, pointed a gun at me, and now I just go home? The officer's eyes avoided hers. I don't know what happened out there. I wasn't there. Just following orders. Asha didn't respond. She walked out of the room, still shaken, still unsure of what had just happened. But the moment she stepped into the front lobby of the station, her ears caught a low buzz.
A voice coming from a radio behind the counter.
Video from earlier today shows a disturbing incident involving a South Hill police officer and a young woman who appeared to be complying with commands. Her blood turned to ice. She walked to the counter, retrieved her phone, and as soon as it was in her hand, it lit up. 77 missed calls. 192 text messages.
44 voicemails. Asterisco asterisco.
She opened her messaging app. Her screen flooded with texts from friends, family, professors, even people she hadn't spoken to in years. I saw the video.
Are you okay? Asterisco asterisco. Asterisco asterisco Asha. We're going viral. Call me now. Asterisco asterisco.
You're trending on Twitter. This is huge.
Asterisco asterisco. Asterisco asterisco come tu mai plus. Don't go malone. Asterisco asterisco. Asterisco asterisco the world saw it, girl.
We got you.
Asterisco asterisco.
She stood frozen in the police station lobby as the full weight of the moment hit her. Someone had seen. Someone had recorded it. Tears welled up in her eyes, not of sadness, but of relief. For the first time since the arrest, she didn't feel invisible. The terror she had lived through had been captured in real time, and the truth was spreading like wildfire. What the officer tried to silence had become a rallying cry. Outside the station, camera crews were beginning to set up. Activists were gathering. Protest signs were being painted. Hashtags were trending. The world wasn't just watching. It was witnessing.
Trattino trattino.